Hey guys, okay, just wanted to do a little walkthrough of our reverse osmosis system here for maple sap. I've got a few other videos from years past on this exact same system, how to build it, but I figured I'd do an updated one. I can't remember if I changed anything or not, but this is the most recent version. So basically, yeah, we bring pure sap in from the field. This tank was full this morning, and it's good looking stuff. It's actually still got ice on the top, which is great, because the colder you can keep it, the better. And so right there on the bottom, I've got a tap, and we've got a non-collapsible hose coming out of the bottom there, going to this stainless steel pump. This is just a stainless steel transfer pump, and all this is doing is taking that liquid and pressurizing it up to sort of like a house pressure, 40 to 60 psi. And then the sap comes into here, runs through this household filter. This one here happens to be a 2.5 by 10 inch filter, 1 micron. And that just filters out any physical like impurities in the sap. Sugar still stays in it. Sorry about that, just got a phone call. Okay, so then yeah, I just have a little pressure gauge here. You can see we're at about, what is that, 45 psi. Then it comes out of there, goes down and into the bottom of this Procon high pressure pump. This is a food grade pressurizing pump, and this pressurizes the sap up to 250, 300 psi if you wanted, but we don't run it that high. It stresses out the equipment. So goes in the back of it there, and then it comes right out the back. You can see here I got a braided stainless high pressure hose. Goes into the bottom of the RO membrane. So this is a 40-40 RO membrane. Goes into the side of the cap here, obviously. And then we're running the sap up the 40-40 RO membrane. And then up at the top here, we've got basically permeate, which is pure water. Basically, it's got like 2 to 3 parts per million in it. So it's essentially pure water. And I've got that going to a holding tank, and that is great stuff for cleaning the RO. You can use it for different things. It's pure water. It's great stuff. I put some of it into this 50-gallon tank here, and this is a tank that I take to the sugar shack just for washing cans out, things like that. And then you see we've got the pressure here. I got pressure gauge on here. It's running just under 200 psi, and I control the pressure with this gate valve here. So as I close the gate valve, I'll do it here. You can see the pressure goes up, and then opening it drops the pressure. And what that's doing is it's building pressure on the membrane, and you're essentially forcing pure water through, and the concentrated sugar sap is flowing by the membrane, and it's recirculating back to the tank. And that process goes on for 1,000 liters here for about an hour and a half with this one membrane, and then you get it down to approximately 8% sugar content. We take 1,000 liters down to about 350 liters. So then, excuse me, next year, what I want to do, and I'm going to be making a video on this, we're going to probably do 2 or 3 membranes just to speed up the process. So take it right down to maybe half an hour of actual processing time, which would be great. The membrane is obviously the most expensive component. So, it adds up, but it's definitely worth it time-wise, because next year we plan on having, more sap, more trees, so we're going to need more capacity. And then right here, we just got a very simple switch box. You don't really need this, but this here controls the 220 motor. So yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that. The 220 volt motor here, it's a 1.5 horse motor. It's got a 56C frame adapter that basically runs that Procon pump. And it's controlled with this switch right here. There's a 2-pole switch. And then here, this 120 switch is just connected to this plug here. So you can just plug this right into the wall if you want, but I just made it easy so I can shut both of them off at the same time. And that's pretty much it. You do need a good transfer pump. You need to be able to deliver a high volume to this system, so it's always getting sap to the high pressure pump, because the high pressure pump needs to see pressure. It needs, I think, 20 psi of pressure for sure, and it needs a high flow. So you got to make sure you're delivering sap. You can't use that thing to suck sap out of the tank. And that's pretty much it for that video. Like I said, I've got other videos on building this thing and maintaining it, and how to clean the membrane, how to store it, how to fire it up for the season. Not much has changed in the last couple of years. It's going to change next year, but the basics are the same. The way you clean the membrane, the way you run it through, the pressures, all that will remain even with the 2 additional membranes. It'll just be different fittings, things like that. A couple things that I did want to do, just after running this for a few years. The copper's fine. Everything on here is food grade. It's all like these are all Suchi food grade tubes. It's either brass or copper or plastic, as you can see. But I would like to change everything to 1/2-inch stainless or 3/4 stainless, depending on what location I'm in here. But everything will be stainless steel. The permeate lines, I might just continue to use these permeate lines because they are nice. These are the standard for home RO systems anyway, so that they work out pretty well. And you get those push to connect fittings, which are nice. So I'll keep that the same. This non-collapsible tubing is definitely essential, because that pump will collapse standard braided tubing. So you do want to have that, especially for this portion. For the rest of it, it's fine. And you don't need a non-collapsible tube there for the going into the Procon pump, because it can't suck enough to collapse the tube. This keeps the pressure on it, so that's all right. Other than that, thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, as always, just leave them in the comments. Thank you.